talk about this together, okay? All right, so the word is quadratic, right? That's what we're working on this unit. So we're going to read just the frog today. We're not going to get to the koala bear, okay? Oh, good. Okay, maybe not. All right, so on the count of three, we're going to read the frog together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I can solve a quadratic equation by
Perfect. Okay. If we have an how do we know equation is quadratic by looking at the equation? It has an x squared in it, right? Okay. Complex number system means we get to have i's. Okay. If we just did the real number system, this would be no different than the lesson you had in Algebra 1. Okay. So from now on, everything has an I in it. Okay. The ones on the quiz, I'm going to test you with the i's because that's the Algebra 2 level of this content, right? So we're going to learn a method called completing the square. You did probably do this in Algebra 1 somewhere, but it's been a long time, okay? And I'm going to show you how to make it shorter, right? Because Mrs. Ballard likes her shortcuts, right? So, but before that, we're going to talk about the number and type of solutions that we are going to have. I'm not going to do the Desmos activity. I'm just going to tell you the information, okay? Sorry, we're not exploring today. So there are 3 different types of graphs that we could have. This discriminant piece here is actually what's underneath the quadratic formula, which we're going to talk about on Monday. But it tells us whether we have, what types of solutions we have, okay? What does greater than 0 mean? What type of number? Positive. So if my number that I get when I do this calculation is positive, we're here. It could be equal to 0. When we're less than 0, what does that mean? Negative. All right, so the first one, the graph looks like this. So how many times did it cross the x-axis? 2. So that's the number of solutions. And they're real solutions. So this has 2 real solutions. Okay. All right, the second one looks like this. It bounces off the x-axis. So when I bounce off, how many times does it cross the x-axis? 1. So that one has 1 real solution. Technically, it's what we call a double root. It's the one where you get like 5 and 5, right? You get 2 numbers that are the same. We saw that earlier this week. All right, and then the other one looks like this. Does it cross the x-axis at all? No. But we still have solutions. They're just not real solutions. That's to put a picture of something that has imaginary solutions looks like. So there are 0 real solutions, but we have 2 imaginary solutions. Okay, so we are going to use this little formula, okay, and then determine if our number is positive, equal to 0, or negative. And that will tell us the number and type of solutions. Before we do that, let's talk about the structure of a quadratic. A quadratic, and we've written it down earlier this week, but it's ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the coefficient in front of the x squared is always what they consider your a value. In front of the b in front of the x is your b value, and your constant is your c value. Okay. Notice it has to be equal to 0. If it's not equal to 0, I need to fix it and make it equal to 0. All right. So looking at example 1, my a is -6. My b, what's in front of the x technically? 1. My b is 1, and my c is -5. It's equal to 0, so I don't need to worry about it not being equal to 0. Okay. So I'm going to use this little formula that's up there. I'm going to do b squared. So what am I putting in for b? 1. Good. -4 times a. What's my a? -6. And what's my c? -5. And I'm going to do that calculation to determine if it's positive, negative, or 0. So what's 1 squared? Good. All right. I always try to put numbers together easy, right? So I see -4 times -5 is what? 20 times -6 is, yeah, right? Because why did I do that? Because I got a 0 at the end, right? And 0 at the end is easy to multiply. -20 times 6, right? Because all I have to do is multiply the 2 and the 6 together. All right. 1 minus 120. -119 is the value of the discriminant. Now we got to determine the number and type of solutions. So if I'm coming up here, I have a negative. So how many and what type of solutions? 0 real, but how many imaginary? 2. Probably in Algebra 1, all I told you was you had 0 solutions, right? Now we're saying you get imaginary solutions out of that. So 0 real, 2 imaginary. We always have to take into account 2 solutions somehow, okay, even if it's a double root. All right, let's take a look at 2. You're going to help me this time. Are we equal to 0? Yep. Are we a quadratic? Yeah, it's a squared, right? Okay, what's my a value? -9. What's my b value? And what's my c value? Perfect. All right, so we're going to put those into our formula. B squared goes first. So what am I putting in for the b again? Good. -4, and 4 is just part of the formula, okay? Times, what's my a value? -9, and what's my c value? -1. Whenever there's formulas, I don't put them anywhere on the quiz. You have to know them, okay? So sometimes we have to memorize a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, okay? All right, what is -6 squared? 36. Good. What's -4 times -9? 36 times -1. Perfect. Hey, what's 36 minus 36? Ooh, 0. Go back to your chart. How many and what type? 1 real, because it was equal to 0. Okay? But again, it has a double root. That's why it still accounts for 2. 1 real. I'm not going to worry about the word solution. Okay. I want to look at example 4 with you, and then you can go back. We'll have you go back and do 3 and 5. Okay? Is it a quadratic? Yeah. Okay. Is it equal to 0? No. Not so much. Okay. So how do I move this 4 to the other side? Subtract it over. All right. So I've got -4x squared minus 7x. What's -3 minus 4? -7 equals 0. All right. What am I putting in for the b squared or for the b this time? -7. Right now? No, I will be soon.
Okay, I'll come back. I have this one.
I do it at the end of the period.
Oh, she needs to just get on a college board. I'll come back. I'll come back on Monday.
Okay.
Monday's better?
Yeah, that's better. Hey, they have pulled out of class during Quantile Exile next week for whatchamacallit?
No, not next week.
No, college kickoff. Seriously? Tuesday, 5th period or something. We have yet to have a week, but there's nobody pulled out.
Don't we have 2 weeks now this time?
I don't know.
We were given 2 weeks.
I know.
The window opened up so we can do it longer.
I know, but I had it already scheduled.
I get that. I had to change all my tests to
Yeah.
cover things.
All right. What is I've got 4. What is A? -4. What is C? I'm looking at the look. I did it again. I did that during 3rd period too. Do you see how my eyeball went here? Yeah, really easy to make the mistake, right? It's okay. My brain's growing too. All right. What's -7 squared? 49. -4 times -4. 16. Ooh, times -7. You can use Desmos. So 16 times -7. 112. Everybody good? All right, so what's 49 minus 112? Positive, or is it going to be positive or negative? If I didn't ask you for the value of the discriminant, could you tell me if it was what the number and type? What does it end up being? 63, is that right? All right, so number and type. What do we get? 0 real and 2 imaginary. Okay, 0 real, 2 imaginary. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to try example 3 and example 5. Okay, I'm going to give you like 3 minutes right now. Okay to use Desmos. I'll give you like 30 more seconds on your own. Yes. Correct. Yeah, it's not quadratic. So you have to do this equal to 0, just like we did.
But how's that? So if it says if it's 0, wouldn't they just all be this one?
No, you have to put it in. You have to put it into this formula equals 0. This is just how that's quadratic. Oh,
I thought you had to take away the 8 so it becomes 0. Then why is it equal to 0?
because in order to solve a quadratic equation, it has to be equal to 0.
I got nothing.
So in order to come up with a solution, you have to set it up by solving a quadratic. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright, I want you to check with your table partner really quick, and then we'll talk about it. Okay? So if you haven't started talking to your table partner, check with them, see if you guys match.
Yeah. At first I was confused about that one too. So, it's the order that you break down. A, B. So, it goes written down. You have
Okay, we're going to talk about it together. Okay, you ready? So, first of all, is example 3 a quadratic? Yes. Okay, is it equal to 0? Yes. So I know that it's a quadratic and it's solvable because it's equal to 0. Okay. I now am going to use the numbers to determine what the value of the discriminant is, which is different than solving. Okay. So what is my b value? -1. What's my a value? Also -1. What's my c value? -6. Good. What is -1 squared? Good. Let's see, -4 times -1. 4 times -6. Good. 1 minus 24. So the value of our discriminant is -23. What does that tell us about the number and type? 0 real, 2 imaginary. 0 real, 2 imaginary. Good. Any questions on that one? All right, let's take a look at example 5. Is it quadratic? Yes. Is it equal to 0? Not so much. What do I have to do first? Add the 8. So 2x squared minus 6x. What do I get for the third term? -8 equals 0. All right, now we've got that. What's my b value? -6. What's my a value? 2. What's my c value? Good. All right, -6 squared. 36. Let's see, -4 times 2. -8 times -8. Oh, we finally get one. What's 64 plus 36? So how many in what type? Finally got a positive one that's 2 real. Okay? All right, any questions on that piece? All right. Sadly, did you notice that there were no little emojis there? Okay? It gives us a lot of information about the quadratic equation, but my focus is on how you solve it. Okay? So, that was great, but we're going to go ahead and learn how to do completing the square. So, when it comes time for the quiz, okay, you're listening right now, okay? There are going to be 3 different methods on the quiz on how to solve, actually 4 different, on how to solve a quadratic, okay? You're going to be able to factor it. You're going to be able to do the solving by roots, and then you're going to be able to do completing the square and quadratic formula. I'm going to tell you you have to do one by completing the square. And if you don't do it that way, use the quadratic formula on it and get it right, I give you a 0. Okay? So you have to know the 4 methods. Okay? That's what I'm going to test you on. I'm going to look at your work. All right? Okay. So steps to completing the square is we're going to start by dividing the leading coefficient, or divide by the leading coefficient. So if there's a leading coefficient, we divide by it. Okay? Then we add or subtract, depending upon what's there. So inverse operation, the constant on both sides, and then we also add in a plus blank. So on both sides. Okay? That'll make sense when we do it. This is your, if you need to go back and figure it out, right? That's why we're doing this box. All right, then you're going to divide the middle term by 2. And then we get whatever that solution is and we square it. And then we just solve or simplify, standard operating procedure as normal. Okay? All right. Give you a couple seconds to finish writing. Okay, I want you to read those instructions right there. Okay? So read those instructions. Okay, what are we supposed to be doing in these instructions? What does it tell us? Solve. So do we want a number answer or variables in our answer? We want a number. It might be a crazy looking number with a square root, and it might be imaginary, but we want a number. Okay? I'm not worried about you stating whether the solutions are real or non-real because that seems silly to me. If it has an I, it's not real. If it doesn't have an I, it's real, right? So, looking at this first one, I'm going to follow these exact steps, okay? So, do I have a quadratic there? Yeah, and it's nicely equal to 0 already, right? All right, so does it have a leading coefficient? Okay, so I said I had to divide by it to do completing the square. So I'm going to divide everything by that leading coefficient. Normally, I don't show the dividing. On this one, I do, okay? All right, so 3 goes into 3 one time, so I get x squared. How many times does 3 go into 36? 12x. How many times does 3 go into negative 6? Negative 2. And how many times does 3 go into 0? Good. The reason we have other methods, okay, to solving is everything doesn't always factorable, okay? And we might be crossing at like decimal points and not right on at like the grid line, right? That's why we have to have these other methods. All right, the next step said that I had to take the coefficient and I had to, the constant and move it to the other side. So right now it's being subtracted. How do I move that to the other side? Add it. Watch what I'm doing. I'm going to leave a huge gap of space. Leave that gap of space. Okay. Now we are going to put in plus blank because I have to complete the square. So I'm going to add a little bit to this function. All right. So I'm putting plus blank on both sides because whatever I do to the left, I also have to do to the right to keep it to not change it in any way. We're not making the equation any different. We're just adding the same number. Okay. All right. The next thing I will tell you, I worked with this with my second year calculus class this year. They were still having trouble with this, and they've been doing it for 2+ years. Okay. So the next thing I would recommend doing, so you don't forget, and I'll show you why once we've done the process, is we're going to set up the skeleton of the next line. Where it's going to be x and leave a big gap and a squared. What's going to happen is that left side on that second line, I'm going to end up factoring it to get to the third line. But we're going to cheat on our factoring. Okay? So we're going to follow these steps again. So I'm going to go divide the middle term by 2. This is the middle term. I'm going to divide it by 2. You keep whatever sign you have there. So we have a plus, we would keep it positive. So it's 12 divided by 2. So I would go plus 6. And this is a good place to hold it. I'll explain why that works in a minute. Okay? What do I have to do to this 6? Oh, sorry. We haven't learned all the process yet. We're going to square it. I'm used to just asking the questions. All right, so we're going to square it. Whatever I put on the left, I also have to put on the right. So I did divide by 2, then I took this number and I squared it. Whatever I got when I divided by 2. Okay, I'm going to pause the problem for a minute and we're going to explain why this step to this step. Okay? If I took this and I did a magic X, two numbers that multiply to 36 and add to 12, what are they? 6 and 6. Didn't I get this? Yeah, but did I have to go through the whole process of the magic X? No, I cheated, right? It's okay. I allow that cheating. No other cheating. Okay? So you can cheat on that factoring step right there. Okay? All right? It's nice because it gives us that little extra. We don't have to do that extra work. Okay? All right, we're going to keep going now. So what's 2 plus 36? 38. Good. Now, doesn't it look like what we were doing yesterday? We've got a squared equal to a number. So how do I undo the square? Square root. Good. All right, so we've got x plus 6 equals. I always, anytime I take a square root, I need to check it on my square number list and make sure it's not divisible. Okay? So, does 4 divide 38? No. Good. Does 9 divide 38? No. 25? No. So we're good. We're going to just leave it square to 38. Oh, there's something I forgot, though. What did I forget out front? It's got to have the plus minus. I try not to be mean on a test or a quiz. It's not a test or a quiz about simplifying radicals, right? It's a test or a quiz about completing the square and quadratic formula. So I try to make it so they don't simplify. Okay? If I do, it's a mistake. I don't usually try to do that. All right. What happens with this 6 to get it to the other side? Good. And it just goes in front. So negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 38. We typically put our radicals towards the back. So that way we know it's actually under the radical. All right, that would happen to be nice, pretty real solutions. That's something Algebra 1 could have done. Okay? Well, not yet. Maybe in the spring they could do that. All right, any questions on that one? We're going to do another one together a little faster. Okay? That's it. Did we get 2 solutions technically? How do we know there's 2 solutions? The plus or minus, right? Okay, let's look at this next one. All right. Do we have a quadratic? Yes. Is it equal to 0? Okay, so it's solvable, right? Is there a leading coefficient this time? No. So I get to skip step 1. I don't have to divide by it. Okay? All right. I do now need to move what to the other side? The 7's going to go to the other side. So we're going to go x squared minus 2, big gap, equals negative 7. All we're really doing is just manipulating the equation. Okay? All right. What's supposed to go in there now? Plus blank on both sides. So whatever I do to the left, I can do to the right. Now, you're all going to listen to Mrs. Ballard and do this next step, right? So we're going to set up our cheating factoring, which is something squared. It's a binomial squared. Okay. All right. What am I supposed to do to that negative 2 now, that middle term? Divide it by 2. What do we get? Negative 1. Good. This even gives you a hint as to what you're supposed to do to the negative 1 if you do that step. So what am I supposed to do to that negative 1? Square it. What do we get? 1 to both sides. All right. What's negative 7 plus 1? Negative 6. All right. Sure you see it coming, right? How do we undo the square? Not yet. How do we undo the square? Square root. What do I have to write in front? Plus or minus. I got x minus 1 equals plus or minus. When I see a negative under the radical, what do? See, I still got eyeballs. Oh, can you tell I ran cross country? All right, pluck your eyes out. Square root of 6. Cannot throw. My poor children. Luckily, my husband could throw. He played football and baseball, so. All right. What do I want you to do to get that 1 to the other side? Add it. Good. So we've got x equals 1 plus or minus I square root of 6. That is the proper, it looks weird. That is the proper notation. Okay? Any questions? Yeah.
Where did the I come from?
Remember your I, whenever we see a negative under a radical, that's the same as saying I squared, and the square root of I squared is I. It's what we learned 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago, 3 days ago, we talked about it. Okay. All right, so that stuff, it all comes together, right? All the stuff we've been doing this week builds into this lesson. All right, any other questions? Okay, I think there's 2 there. Oh, not yet. We're going to talk about this question. Read that question to yourself. Shh, just read the number 4 to yourself. Okay. Technically, how many solutions did both of those have? 2. What indicates the 2 solutions? The plus minus. Good. So they both have 2 solutions. Both A and B have 2 solutions indicated by the plus minus. Because it's complex, right? We get to include the i's. Okay. There are 2 more there, right? So these are the last 2 we're going to do today. I'm not going to do the other part today. So I want you to try both 5 and 6. I'm going to give you like 3-4 minutes. Okay? So try it on your own for a couple minutes, and then we'll have you work with a partner. Everybody's trying. Give you about 1 more minute on your own. All right, I want you to check with your table or your table partners. See if you guys match. Even if you didn't finish 6, just stop and look at 5. Okay, so everybody have that conversation right now. Okay, let's take a look together, no matter where you're at. Let's go back to 5 and see what we can do with it. Okay? So, is it a quadratic? Is it equal to 0? Is there a leading coefficient? Yes, so that means that I need to divide by that leading coefficient first. Okay? So I have x squared, what comes next? Plus what? 8x plus what? 17 equals 0. All right, what's the next thing that I need to do? Subtract 17. What else do I need to put in? The plus blank on each side. And then before I do anything else, I set up the next line. So x something squared. All right, what do I have to do now? Divide the 8 by 2. What do we get? 4. What do I do to the 4? Square it. What do you get? 16 to both sides. What's negative 17, positive 16? Negative 1. All right, we should be seeing it coming, right? All right, how do I undo the square? Square root, what has to go in front? Plus or minus. So x plus 4 equals plus or minus. What happens when we see a negative under a radical? Oh, I heard it up there first. All right. What's the square root of 1? 1. Do I really need to write it down? No, I'm not going to. I could put a 1 in front of the I if I wanted to. All right, how do I move this 4 to the other side? Subtract. So negative 4 plus or minus I. Did we get 2 answers? Yep, plus minus is 2 answers. They're imaginary answers, but we got them. Okay. All right, one last one for today. Okay. All right. Is there a leading coefficient this time? No, so I don't have to worry. I get to skip step 1. All right, what do I have to do with the 7? How do I move it? Add it. Good. So, and then what else has to be added in there? Plus blanks. I know it seems weird, right? But that's the process. All right, I'm also doing this skeleton underneath. Okay. What do I need to do now? Divide 10 by 2. What do we get? 5. What do I do to the 5? Square it. So 25 to both sides. All right, what's 7 plus 25? Oh, that wasn't very nice of me, was it? All right, how do I undo the square? Square root, what has to go in front? Good. All right, on this here, as I'm going to this line, I would go ahead and try to simplify it, okay? Does 4 divide 32? Yeah, I could probably do better, though. Does 9? Does 16?
Yes.
Yeah, how many times? Twice. You have to look for that every time, okay? So some of them that you get are going to have to be simplified, all right? Whether or not I put it on the quiz, okay? All right, at the same time I'm simplifying here, how do I move this 5 to the other side? Good, and then what's the square root of 16? 4. Okay. All right, are there any questions? All right, good news, we're stopping there. Okay, I'm waiting for a second. There is an assignment posted in Google Classroom. Okay? It's a Delta Math. You should practice. Okay? We will start the weekly skills check quiz at about 17. So you have about 8 minutes. Yeah. Uh-huh. No, you don't put those together. No, because you want it. Yeah, so you want to think about it like this. Would we put that together? No, they're not like terms. Yeah, it's kind of like a variable. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a really good question. But yeah, no, they're not like terms. Okay. Yeah. Yes.